my friends were raped in the same night. So I'm going to give you a cautionary tale.
I was essayed within my first few weeks of college. I'm unfortunately a part of that statistic.
Sexually assaulted for the first time the summer between my freshman and sophomore year of college. The next day,
on September 9th, 2024, 3 weeks into my freshman year of college, I was sexually assaulted on my college's campus and hospitalized that exact same night.
The Not So Lackadaisical Podcast.
Hi guys, and welcome to the Not So Lackadaisical Podcast. Now, I do want to say this video is going to be a lot different from my usual videos, because you guys know that I usually talk about influencer drama, but today I'm going to talk about a more serious topic that I feel like needs to be talked about more, which is the chances of getting essayed in college. I feel like this is something we really need to talk about because it's a really serious thing that happens. So before I show you guys the stories, I want to talk about the reality. So there's this thing called the red zone, which is basically the first 6 weeks to 10 weeks of college. You are most susceptible to getting sexually assaulted in college. And sadly, more than 50% of sexual assault cases happen during this window. Not 10%, not 20, half. This all happens during this window of college. And what is sad is no one tells you this when you move into college. Like, there's no orientation or like a slide that's like, hi guys, welcome to college. Also, we want you guys to avoid half of the campus and people until after Halloween, just for safety reasons. Now imagine this, you go up in a safe town. Parents watching over you, curfews. You only know about like 3 dangers, okay? Which is spiders, the dark, and failing a test. Then suddenly you go off to college. No parents, new people, new environment. And your guard is down because it's supposed to be fun. And that is exactly why predators target freshmen all the time. Because their guard is down, they're very trusting, they do not recognize their red flags yet. Now, these stories I'm about to tell you, they aren't 1 in a million. They are constantly happening and we just aren't hearing about them. So let me walk you through one of the stories I found.
Freshman year of college, all my friends were raped in the same night. So I'm going to give you a cautionary tale to my girlies out there that are in college. Okay, some rules to abide by to make sure that we staying safe. Amen. Amen. So first and foremost, I got into a car with a man that I did not know personally. See, that seems simple, right? Oh yeah, just don't get in the car with a man that you don't know. That's easy. Not when you're drunk.
It happened during her freshman year. The story is as follows. So they were basically out, they were drinking, and then, it was time to leave. So an upperclassman picked them up in a car. Now, the way this girl is connected to the guy, it's a friend of a friend of a friend, which is already a red flag. But she was with her group of girls, so they all felt safe because it was just one guy, okay? So they were we have the upper advantage if anything were to happen or whatever. But this guy, he takes them to an upperclassman residence. So they go there and it's chill. There's only one other guy and it's 5 of them or 6 of them. I'm not sure how much, but what was clear was there were more girls than guys there. So the girls felt safer. They were we could take down these 2 guys if we had to, we had to fight or whatever. And then later on, the guys brought in a bunch of drinks. And so the girls were okay, let's party, let's get drunk, get wasted, whatever, because they're party girls. They're college, you want to have fun, you want to take breaks from testing and all those stuff. So they were let's drink, let's have fun, let's party. So they all got really, really drunk. And then out of nowhere, the lights turned off. And guys start pouring in. The guys opened up their door and they were going into the living room. So it was basically the guys were waiting for them to get drunk as heck so they wouldn't be able to do anything. Now, the girl who's telling the story, she said she noticed this and she was oh, so this is what's about to go down. And she's I am not sticking for this. So she tries to move, but she finds out she cannot move because she's so drunk. She's telling her toe to move. She's toe, you better do something. You better move. You better get me out of here. But she can't move because she's very, very drunk. So she starts crawling out and she exits out the front door. And she's so drunk she can't do anything. So she just sits outside and she gets on a phone call with one of her male friends. And she's basically just slurring her words. She's not saying anything like her friend. stays on the call for about an hour, and then later, a guy walks out, and he's like, "Oh, you're here? Man, you missed out on all the fun."
Up! Shut the fuck up! Shut up! What are you doing? What the fuck are you doing?
But that girl was the only girl out of her entire friend group who did not get raped that night. Now, when I watched the story, it just made me think more on how you should never get into a car with a stranger, and or even a person who you're friends with, who's friends with your other friend. Like, if you do not know them personally, if you do not know them personally enough, you should not get in a car with them. Or if you've only talked to them once, you do not know their true intentions. Like, until you've known them enough to like a point where like you know you're safe with them 100%, where you do not have the doubt at the back of your mind that they'll ever do something bad to you, do not get into a car, okay? And do not get into a car with someone if you're very, very, very drunk.
Unfortunately, a part of that statistic, and this is my story. It was my freshman year. I had literally just turned 18, and
Theater department, they had this program where they had older classmates come in and, you know, just like mentor the younger students, the freshmen, and just keep an eye on them. And this girl, she got partnered up with this guy. It was chill at first, but whenever she was like thinking of dating or like getting on apps, the guy would always be like, "No, you gotta focus on your studies, you gotta focus on theater, you gotta focus on acting." And she was just like, "Okay, yeah, I'll just delete everything." And like she didn't think anything bad about this. And then later on, she would find out that whenever a guy would be interested in her, like the guy would always be like, "Oh no, she's taken, whatever." But she didn't notice at the time.
a few weeks into school, I was in a student-run show where I wore a crop top on stage, and afterwards they told me that I gave them 16 boners while watching the show. Then at the cast party that night, they made sure I got really drunk and gaslit me into leaving the party by saying that we were going to a room with a bunch of their friends in it, but when we got to the room, it was empty, and I'll let you all fill in the blank as to how that ended.
It's just sad, it's terrifying, and it's just gross how these things can happen to you at any time, even from people you think are supposed to, you know, help you. That stuff are almost always happening to girls. They're almost always happening to females. And it's always because people do not know how to keep their hands to themselves. The reason why I say almost is because it can happen to males. It's just rare when it happens to them, but like. And why exactly am I talking about this? It's because people need to know. People need to know about the statistics and how these stuff are more common than you think, because no one is telling all these freshman girls to be safe when they're going to college, that all these bad things can happen to them. No one tells them this. They just tell them, wow, college is going to be a fun year. It's going to be a year where you learn, you grow, you can party, you know, whatever. No one really goes and tells you all this. I refuse to not let anyone know. Like, if I have the power to influence people, even if it's like a small amount, I still want people to know, just so they do not end up in an environment like that, or at least they can try to control. Now, I'm gonna go over like a list of things you can do to keep yourself safe. A couple tips I have is, if you're going anywhere, go in a pair. Not because you're weak or anything, but it's because most predators hate witnesses, and they're most likely not to do anything to you if you're like with somebody, because it's like, yeah, you would rather go for someone who's alone than for someone who's with someone else. Go in pairs, y'all. If you're going anywhere, I don't care where it is, I don't care how far, and especially if it's nighttime, go in pairs. Bad things can happen all the time, okay? And it might happen that one time you forget to stay safe or whatever, so always go in pair. And if anyone ever tries to isolate you from people, that is a humongous red flag, and it's a big no-no, and you probably should not go. You guys saw what I did there. Okay, not the time to be funny, okay. But if anyone ever tries to isolate you, red flag, do not go. Probably stop talking to that person immediately. Yeah. Also, something else. If your gut is telling you something is not right, you should probably listen to your gut, because, like, 9 times out of 10, it's most likely right. And if an upperclassman acts nice to you, but you still get that weird tingly feeling, do not go. Being nice is not the same as feeling safe around someone, okay? Someone treating you nice is not the same way as them you know, being a safe person for you, okay? Because predators are always gonna try to be nice to you. That way, like, it's unsuspecting. They can do all these things, and it's less likely for them to get reported because it's like kind of your fault because they make it seem like it's kind of your fault that all this happened to you. Okay, the next thing, we probably all heard this before, but watch your drink. Watch your drink like it's your phone. You wouldn't give your phone to a stranger, right? If you say yes, I'm actually kind of concerned for you, but watch your drink like it's the end of your life. If you leave your drink somewhere for more than a second, unattended, unwatched, do not drink it, throw it away, do not sip it. If someone buys you a drink and you walk away for like 10 seconds or like 2 seconds, do not drink it. Do not drink it, okay? And if someone is pressuring you to drink it, it's kind of like a telltale sign that you should probably not drink whatever they gave you. And if anyone gives you anything, do not eat it, do not drink it. You don't know what they're gonna do to you, you know? And yeah. Also, if you're ever gonna go somewhere, always tell somebody where you're going. Send them your location. Let someone see your location. Just tell them where you are gonna be going and always turn your location on, okay? Because if something happens to you, people need to know where you are. In case like you need help or whatever, always keep your location on, okay? 'Cause I don't know how to explain it, but it's just like safer if like someone knows where you're going in case something bad happens to you. If they notice you're somewhere else than where they said you're supposed to go to, it's like they can kind of text you and send you a message and ask you why. And if you don't reply back, they know it's like a sign that they have to like, you know, do something to help you or whatever. So always share your location with somebody. Let them know where you were going to go in case something bad might happen to you. And I'm not saying it will, I'm just saying there's a high chance for it to happen. So you should try your best to stay safe. Now, I'm not trying to scare you guys from going to college, okay? College is a fun environment, it's an amazing place, and it can be like the best moments of your life. I'm not trying to scare you guys, I'm just trying to tell you guys to stay safe. The red zone is real. These stories are real, and the more you know, the safer you can be. And if this video helps even one person escape danger, then it was all worth it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe as always. See you guys next time. Bye.
The Not So Lackadaisical Podcast. We got the jokes and we got drama, so we got